So I have this friend, a boomer. Last year, this person expressed to me that they want to come back to church. That they wanted to start coming back to church in 2026 after the new year. Actually, no, they wanted to go back to church in last year after their seasonal work was done. So their seasonal work got done. Didn't see them coming to church. Okay. Then they said, "Oh, I'm going to start going in 2026. You know, new year, new me. I'm going to church in 2026." Okay, cool. I did that in 2023. You know, cool, awesome. You know, I don't want to push anyone too hard, and you know, I want to give people their space and be patient. Cool. Okay, 2026. That's great. Then 2026 rolls around. I notice they're not going to church. And mind you, I'm a Catholic. I'm a practicing Catholic. And listen, I just, even if this person doesn't want to go to the Catholic Church, fine. If they want to go to the evangelical church, I think they should go to the Catholic Church. But again, it's their choice. Anyway, 2026 rolls around. I know they're not going to church. So I asked this person, "Hey, when are you going to start coming to church?" And that question seemed to upset them. I was a little kind of, not shocked, but I was a little taken aback by their reaction. That it was just so like, don't tell me what to do. Okay, fine, all right, fine. Then a couple months later, the same person, you know, I saw this person and I mentioned to them, it was on a Sunday, and I said, "Wow, you know, I'm starting to see more young people coming to my church, and the pews are really starting to fill up." And this person was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to come back to church soon enough." And I'm like, you know, okay, in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, you keep saying that, but whatever. Okay, you're whatever. Like I said, I'm giving this person their space, not trying to be forceful. Okay. Then, maybe about a month after that, this person says, "Oh, I'm gonna go to church. I just need to get a new outfit. I need a new outfit." And I'm thinking to myself, like, who cares? Just no one's gonna care about your outfit. And I get it. You want to dress up nice for church. You want to dress up nice for God, right? I understand that, but you know, no one's gonna, slap you over the head if you're wearing more casual clothes here. Like, honestly, like, no one, it's not about you. Like, it's not all eyes on you. And so I just thought to myself, that's a really dumb reason to not go to church. Like, no, I don't have the clothes. Like, put some clothes on, okay? Obviously nothing like revealing or, nothing that's gonna tempt your brother or sister. There are some standards, but I know this person had clothes fitting to go to church on Sunday. And I really want to have a heart-to-heart with this person and ask them, like, hey, what is keeping you from church? And I know this person quite well. Again, it's a boomer. And I'm just, in other places in the world, Christians are being persecuted and killed for going to church, for doing the basics of their faith, going to church, okay, doing the very basics. And over here in America, you can't even get the average boomer to come to Sunday church. They can't get in their car, drive 10 minutes one direction to go to church for even 1 hour. 1 hour out of their week. Again, I don't know exactly what's keeping this person from going to church, but what really upsets me is, don't tell me you're coming back to church for the past 6 months and you're not going to church. Okay, listen, I want to be patient. I want to be merciful here. But also, I understand, I understand. It took me a while to go back to church. It took me a while because, there are some hang-ups, like, what church do I go to? And sometimes when you go to these churches, the people of that congregation, they see a new person, they just flock to that person, and they just, for me, I'm more of an introvert, and I like my space, and I don't like it when people, crowd me like that. It's like, sometimes it's like, hey, I'm just here to observe. Can you just leave me alone and let me breathe? So I understand that there is sort of like this strange intimidation factor about going back to church. Like, oh, what will people think of me? And it really is overblown. It's just you overthinking. But anyway, I know this person has expressed that they want to go back to church, and okay, so go. Like, even if it's not the Catholic Church, which I think they should go to, I think you should go to church anyway. I'd rather you go to some church that I don't go to than not going to church at all. Because it's a command from God, okay? It's a command from God. Don't forsake the assembling of yourselves, St. Paul said. So, but in America, in boomer America, we just have this sort of like, I don't know what to call it exactly, but it's this lukewarm or lazy or just meh attitude towards going to church. Okay, and I know this person's been praying every day. They're using the Hollow app, which is a Catholic app. Okay, it's a Catholic prayer app, and they love it, and they've been using it for the past 3 years. And it's like, okay, great. And I know this person is being called back to church because this person is convicted by what they're learning about church history, but the different prayers in the app. It's really, it's doing good for them. Okay, so you got the prayer down. Great. I know they want to go back to church, but I don't know what their hang up is. But also, it's like, what do you want? Do you want God to make things easier for you in boomer America, boomer Christian America? Again, there are people in different parts of the world that are persecuted for practicing their Christian faith, who become martyrs because they're on their way to church on a Sunday. Okay? And here in America, we can't even get people, professing Christians to get up a little bit earlier, to go to church, to pick a church within their locality, to go there to worship for not even an hour. 1 hour of their week. Okay? It's just so pathetic. It really is. It's so pathetic when you compare the different worlds here. African Christians getting killed for doing the basics, and we can't even and we're in a country in America, in the West, where it is so easy and safe to do the basics. They can't even do that. They can't even do that. Oh, make it easy for me, God. Oh, make it easy for me. You know what really just upsets me about boomer American Christianism, whatever you want to call it, is this sort of, it's this, I want the graces of God, I want the goodies of God, I want him to answer my prayers, but I don't want to make any sacrifices for it. I don't want to reciprocate in that relationship, okay? And in Christianity, you have to foster a relationship with God, okay? You do that through prayer, you do that through reading Holy Scripture, and you do that by fulfilling the command to assemble, to go to church every Sunday on the Lord's Day. okay? Those are some 3 things you can do as a Christian that is recommended, that is pretty well known in Christianity. Those things you should do: pray, read Holy Scripture, go to church. Those are some basics. And you can't even get people, you can't get people to read their Bibles. They think you have to be a theologian. You need 8 years of college, of university to understand the Bible. No, you don't. There are so many study guides. There are so many translations. You know, it's just all these excuses not to do the basics. Okay? And I'm just so sick of it. I'm sick of this boomer Christianity. It sucks. It's lazy. It's full of bad excuses. And, you know, and they look at the Zoomers. The Zoomers are like, those who are coming back to the faith, they're like on fire. And it's awesome to see. And I feel like the boomers are sort of intimidated by it because the Zoomers are more traditional. They're more zealous for the faith, and I love it. I think it's great. I'm a millennial. Technically I'm a zillennial or zennial, whatever you want to call it. But I just love seeing it. It's great. And it seems to be sort of like intimidating to the boomers. Even the boomers who go to church on a regular basis. They're like, oh no. They want to change things. You know, I'm telling you, if the boomers could play YMCA in the middle of a church service, they would. They totally would. It's just that sad in boomer Christianity. And I'm tired of it. The young people are tired of it. And the young people are coming back, and they're more conservative, and they're more traditional, and they're more willing to sacrifice for their faith. And it's beautiful. I love it, and I would love to see more of it. So anyway, that's my rant on boomer Christianity. It's not hard to go to church, folks. Okay? It's a basic command. Anyway, that's all I got. Have a wonderful day. God bless. Peace.